Hi everybody, my name is Beth Megill and you are watching LOD and Tea, and I am posting a separate video about the real breakdown of relationship, and I thought here I would talk a little more about the metaphorical meaning of relationship and how it can become a cool tool to examine ourselves and our interactions with the world. So up here we have the bracket that means all forms of relating or relationship. And within it is embodied all of the different ways we can connect with intention, with physical contact. So we have here this concept of addressing, being near someone, making contact, and supporting. So I encourage you first to start to think about, how are you addressing the world? How are you in the world? What are the things that get your attention, and what do you do about it? So what are the tasks you have on your to-do list, and what is it you have to do at work, and who do you need to send an email to today, and who do you need to call, right? All of those are ways of addressing. Right? We have a problem, we need to address it. So we have to put our focus to it and relate directly to it. But that can be a very superficial way of interacting and having relationships. So it might be time to grow the intimacy by creating nearness. And when we have nearness, we start to take care of how we're interacting with something, with an object. So if I have nearness of my hand to my cheek without making contact, there's an energy. In fact, I can feel the heat of my hand to my cheek, and there's a real potency and potential energy of what could happen next. And there's a lot of care and a transmission of energy even without the contact. There's also something about nearness that is incredible in terms of honoring the other. So if I'm going to be near, I have to bind my flow so I don't just hit things willy-nilly. So I bind my flow when I'm near. And when I'm near, then I'm being careful, and people feel that. People feel when we're careful around them, not in a hesitant way, but in a caring way, that we can really be careful. We can be full of care and attention as we're near. Then we have contact, and contact is powerful, right? And very often we don't get enough contact in our lives, except for those of us with small children who can't seem to get enough of us. But really, there's a sense of distance, I think, in a lot of our social situations. So having contact, we have to have permission for contact, and that's a big issue right now in the United States with Title IX and sexual relationships, and there's a sense of contact takes permission beyond nearness, and we really need to be caring about how and when and where we make contact. Not because contact is bad, but we do want to make sure that people feel safe. And really the only way to make sure somebody feels safe is to ask them. So coming into contact with a real sense of responsibility is important, because contact doesn't always have to be gentle. Contact can be firm and hard and hurt. So we want to be very, very attentive to the energy behind contact, the intention behind contact. How are you interacting with someone? How are you interacting with the world? And how does that contact make you and them feel? And then we have support. And support is the concept that I have you. I have you. I support you. I'm not going to let you down. It's also trusting, right? That I could be supported, that I'm worth supporting, that I have a sense of integrity that is worth holding, that is worth releasing into another person. So perhaps as I went through this progression, you had some thoughts of relationships that came up. Again, this is not intended to be a therapy, but it's about the power of meaning and movement. And when we look at movement and how the concepts behind movement exist in us and in the meaning of how we interact with the world and with ourselves, then we start to find more power and hopefully some more autonomy and awareness for what happens next. So I hope you found this interesting and useful. Again, I just do these off the cuff for fun and to share my passion and questions with the language of dance and motif notation and what it can mean for us in our lives. So I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you later. My name is Beth Megill, and this is LOD and Tea. Take care.